the underground. And we're back with another one. What's going on, everybody? Much love, good evening. Shout outs to all the purebloods out there. Much love to everybody out there that shares the stream. I appreciate it. Much love, Tooge, Tacos, Kev Bar, Hoodie Ross, Gary, all the crew. Good to see all the mods out there. Raymond, Deanne, Fitz, Joe. Hope all is good with everybody. I'll be watching the chat tonight on YouTube for the most part, and thank you for the feedback. Say y'all. Jay from the Ville in the house. Good to see everybody. Hope everything's good. The audio here. All right, Joe says it's good. Everything looking good. Good to see everybody again. And Texas in the house. KY Cats. If you need to get anything to me, dabu7@yahoo.com is the email, or at me in the chat. If I see it, I'll try my best to respond. Dub J, much love. You guys can also sign up to be a channel member now. Join the underground. It's another small way you can help support the channel, and also get be a part of a few perks that come along with that. But we're gonna get this thing started here. Much love, Pixie. Get this thing started here with some updates with the space weather. Not a lot going on in terms of X-flare activity. We did have a big CME let loose from the sun, but this wasn't Earth-facing. You can see the big explosion right there. The sunspot is coming around the corner, so to speak, on the lower band of the sun. Very active sun right now. They actually say that could have been an X-flare in magnitude, but since it wasn't Earth-facing, they couldn't get the full reading on it. Nonetheless, we've got that big sunspot coming around our way here this next week, so we'll keep an eye on it. And thank you, Ike, for that super chat. Much love. Taking a quick look here, it looks like on the 29th we had an object come in closer than the moon. We don't have anything on the radar per se here in the coming days or so. So anytime I see something, I like to point it out, especially for those that like to see some of these sky events that are going down. All right, Pride Line checking in. I remember Dabu from 2012 riots. Where was that, St. Louis? I think you were talking about, back in, you're talking about Ferguson. Yeah, running the streets of Ferguson. Getting the action in. Yeah, man. Much love. Good to see you. Also, with the whole space thing, I want to play a clip here of what's going on with the guys up in space. If it's got it on this. I don't even know if it's got I don't even think it's got the clip of this sound I was thinking about on here. But there's this creepy sound that's coming through the speakers of the Starliner, which is connected to the ISS. This is what took these two people up to the ISS and has malfunctioned. And because of it, they're not coming back home with this thing. This thing is actually returning to Earth here very soon, and it's going to be without them. They're set to be staying up there until February, when SpaceX can come and rescue them. Here, it's this audio clip right here. I'm going to open this up
Houston on 2. We've got a question about Starliner.
Houston's with you, Butch. Go ahead.
There's a strange noise coming through the speaker, and I didn't know if you could connect into the Starliner and let me keep mic and let you hear. I don't know what's making it, but I don't know if there's something that maybe is connected between here and there, making that happen. But anyway, can you do that?
We can configure that, Butch. Give us a minute, and I'll call you back when it's ready.
Okay.
Station Houston on 2. We're configured for audio via hardline and CST. If you want to give us a call.
Okay, I'm in Starliner, and how do you read?
5x5. How many?
Okay, I'm gonna keep the mic up next to the speaker.
Copy.
Hear that?
At negative, Butch, we did not hear anything.
That.
All right, Butch, that one came through. It was kind of like a pulsing noise, almost like a sonar ping.
Yeah, I'll do it one more time, and I'll let y'all scratch your heads and see if you can figure out what's going on. Here we go. All right, over to you.
All right, so, frequencies and everything. And when it comes to this whole thing, yes, the world is a stage, everything is a show. But taking things into perspective here, just in hearing the sound that they're presenting to us, it does sound rather creepy. Notice that the guy calls it out, Houston, so to speak, here on the ground, calls it out and says it sounds almost like a sonar ping. Now, that's pretty crazy. No, the frame, that's where the audio was. Screen's not frozen. I wanted you to hear that because this is what they're saying they're hearing. Now, to me, this takes me into an area where a lot of questions start to fly with space. I think that beyond the Van Allen belts, personally, regardless of what this planet is shaped like and all these other things that people can argue about but really not prove, when it comes to space, again, I wish we could go there as we the people. That's why I always want to send some kind of space weather balloon up there, something with cameras. We got to try something to get answers. But I've got a couple things that tie into this that's rather interesting with what's going on here. Because if you take it to your Bible, God said he separated the waters. And then dry land appeared, but he separated these waters. And I can't help but think that for the longest time, when I have looked at stars with my own eyes, instruments, whether it's a telescope, it's the cell phone, when I'm zoomed in, locked in on these objects on a clear night out in the middle of nowhere, you can see the Milky Way, and you zoom into all these objects, one by one by one, they all remind me of a light from underwater. It all looks like an object that you're kind of looking at from, like there's water in between. It's crazy. Whether that's the case or not, that's what it appears to be. It's definitely not some big ball of fire. And when I get this telescope and I get a chance, we're going to zoom in. We're going to look at some crazy stuff. Shout out to Jay Reacher. Let me look here real quick and see if I've got this other clip. I've got a video clip here of footage of this object. That has been caught in front of the sun. I just want to show you guys. This object on the screen. This is one of many, and I mean many, that have been caught on the cameras on Soho, Alaska 2 and 3. When the ISS passes the sun, you can see it in the same manner. Okay? Anyone that really cares and wants to seriously look at what's going on here, we've seen all types of stuff pass the moon when we've locked into it. I've never watched the sun because you have to have a certain filter, which I look to get in the near future, so we can see these things for ourselves. But this right here was a great catch. There's full video of it, and it just played up top, but this is the object, or objects, that are going by, and they're saying that this is some of the spacecraft that's being used up there. Elon and company are said to have some very high tech aircraft. Let's just put it that way. And I'm not talking rockets, well beyond rockets. They've mastered rockets. If you haven't seen, they can take off in them and they can land and stick them on a platform in the middle of a ocean. They've mastered that. They've got new stuff that they have not unveiled to the public, so to speak. The Jetsons technology is what I dub it. All the anti-gravitics, stuff like that. Propulsion stuff. It's all been hidden. I think it'll be rolled out by 2030 or so if they get their way of locking the planet down, because they want this to be rolled out, and people are going to have to submit to the beast system to participate in stuff like this. You want to go around the world in 20 minutes? It'll be the new cool thing to do. Everybody will want to do it, and there'll still be limitations. Anyhow, crazy sounds and crazy objects coming from this area of space and subspace. Now check this out. There's been an admission by the scientists that have been studying space. On the last stream, I talked about the Van Allen belts. I believe that they're key in terms of trapping life here, us here, what have you. They've just come out and admitted that there is another full global energy field that goes around the planet. They've speculated about this and all that, but now there's proof, because when you go to the poles, there's energy that shoots up at supersonic speeds, and it's little atoms shooting up, and they're like, hold on, this isn't possible. This isn't possible. This can't happen unless there's something either pushing it out, which they couldn't find, or there's something pulling it out, which would have to be some kind of, as they speculated, electrical field, another field. So they're admitting that after all this time and all this studying, that they've come to the conclusion that, well, it's there, but it's very subtle. But it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter how strong or how subtle it is. It's there. And even though it's very subtle, it's strong enough to pull these ionized atoms up into the ionosphere. Because they're so small, so light, this is what's doing it. So they never really realized this was there, because it's only about as strong as a watch battery. It's very subtle, but it's there. It just goes to show that at any moment they could come out and drop some information about the workings of this whole place or add to it. Van Allen belts I talk about all the time will now add this brand new bubble of energy that sits around us, this energy field that they're saying is all around us. They were not talking about before, so this is new stuff. So yeah, as I get more info there, I'll update you guys. Gary in the house, much love, my brother. Much love to the fullest. All right, let's go to the earthquake map. Energies from the sun, frequencies, all that affect the earth, the ley lines, all the faults that crisscross the planet. I've noticed there's been some odd quake activity, and looky here. Log in so I can get a read on this. It looks like we've got a fresh one there. The New Madrid in Tennessee at 2.6. Look at this. Up here, we had a magnitude 4, 4.6. So that's getting up there near a 5. This is right outside of northeast of Montreal. When anyone in upstate Vermont, upstate New York, Green Mountains, might have felt that. If you guys did, let me know. Decent quake on the East Coast, usually around magnitude 5. You'll feel them. Nothing huge popping off at the moment to report. Nothing in terms of crazy activity around the globe. Outside of the swarm continues down here in New Zealand. Thousands and thousands of earthquakes gathering there. Everything else hitting kind of normal as of right now. I'll update with some stuff on that if we see anything pop off. But here's one for you. A victory for the people on the West Coast at the California-Oregon border. This Clath River, it's actually an ancient river that's flowed through the country for a long time. And here for the past 100 years or so, governments have kind of messed it up like they do other things. And for the past 2 decades, there's been a campaign to save this river because it's been dying out for several different reasons. What they did is they went through and they put dams all through it, and they tried to dam it up, put hydro dams in place, and get electric and energy out of these areas. The downside to that is that it backed up water in certain areas that led to these algae booms, and the algae destroyed all kinds of life in the river. And then when it comes to the salmon and these other fish, they couldn't respawn. Salmon and certain fish here, they like to swim upstream against the flow of the river. And there's just certain things that has to happen. When you stop them from getting upstream with these dams, they can no longer get there. So they're cut off like forever. And the upper parts of the stream can no longer get seeded with these salmon, and it dies out. And that's what's happened. 400 miles of the river, that's a large section, was just kind of demolished. So they've won the rights now, basically, to shut down all these places. And one of the last places stopping all this just went down. So the people are happy here. So this river is going to get back to flowing the way it did a long time ago. Although they've messed it up somewhat, it'll never be like it was. But all these obstacles are out of the way, and they're saying that the wildlife can kind of go back to how it's supposed to be, which is good for the area instead of having all these die-offs and things of that nature. But you don't often see that when it comes to the government and eminent domain and everything that they do. But another thing that's going on in California here is extreme heat. I'm sure if you live there, you're aware of this. But when it comes to like Death Valley and those places, I know they get hot, but they're talking about portions of Los Angeles, the outskirts of LA there, 113 up to 119. It's like getting deadly hot, man. So heads up. End of summer, dog days, hanging in there. And that's just super hot. I don't think where I'm at, we're going to see anything like that. I think it's over. A storm line rolled through past 24 hours, and when it came through with a punch. It was violent. Let me tell you, it was violent. I've noticed over the past many years, and it seems like right at this time of the year, more this weekend, in the summer weekend, a line had come through. A strong line. Sometimes it's just a strong, heavy, persistent wind for one day, for quite a few hours or throughout the day, or it'll come through in the form of a strong storm system like this. And then behind it is cooler weather. So 90s are like gone for us, it seems. Be lucky to see some mid 80s, mostly 70s, which is good weather to me. 70s, 80s. I'll take it. Check this out. Old Farmer's Almanac just released a forecast for 2024 into 2025. So it's the end of this year, going into next year. I guess it all depends on where you live. So you can see right here, it's got it broke down into regions. There are, there's 18 different regions. I'm in region 7, which I don't like the way that they put the regions on here, because they kind of put them all by states. And the weather boundaries do not operate that way. They do not obey state boundaries. That's just not how it works, especially in my state. I mean, you go to the northern part of my state right now, and it could easily be 10 degrees difference than what it is here, where I'm at, my state. And especially when you get into the mountains and things like that, I just don't agree with these regions being separated by state lines. They should be separated by the air, the warmth and all that. Anyhow, they're calling for some areas to be colder, wetter, all around wetter is kind of what they're saying. Whether it's snow or rain that you're going to see, that's kind of what I seen when looking over it. But again, look into it. Actually, I'll drop this in the comment section, in the chat, real quick. If you guys want to look into it. And there you go. Yeah. I think I told you last time about the housing market. What's going on here. I like to keep tabs on this stuff. Gives us an idea of where we're sitting. People hurting that bad they can't even afford a home. It's been that way. One thing is that they're saying that we've got an inventory here. The prices have been going up, and the price is going to continue to go up, per se, especially if Kamala gets in there. Because they're already talking about giving everybody $25,000 toward a home, which the experts say that's just going to increase the overall price of the homes by $25,000. It's a setup. but they're now saying that they think that we're in the mother of all housing bubbles. So we'll see, right? These prices are elevated. You know, they are. In 5 years, they've come up pretty good. They were even higher just a couple years ago, the peak of COVID. They pulled back some, and then this year they had a slight pull up, and I'm guessing they're saying here that they think it's going to pop and that it's going to be bad. If that's the case, some of the people out there that are buying houses maybe now or on the tip, if this pulls back, this means that your house is going to be worth less, which is not what you want. You don't want that with any investment. You know, you would like to buy something in 5 years from now. It'd be great if you could make 50,000 plus profit on it, which if you bought pre-COVID, that was possible. If you bought a house pre-COVID and then waited, and you're selling here recently, oh yeah, yeah, $500 fine says house is up $50K, easy. I know this for a fact. You know, depending on where you're at in your situation, they're saying that could pop though, and that could go bye-bye. So I don't know. I don't see this lasting too much longer, to be honest with you. I don't see the whole economy holding up. We're riding at a high. Remember, the stock market's at a high, Bitcoin at a high, gold at a high. The very richest of rich men are dumping their stocks off the top. We'll talk more about that here in a bit. Ominous signs out there that full-blown collapse of everything is going to happen. Everything pulls back at once. Yeah, that's when, you know, the mainstream media would be saying, oh, we've entered a recession. No, at that point, we'll be entering a depression. But they'll gaslight the people. You know, by the time people realize what's really going on, it's too late. But I would make a move if I were you. It may be too late. I'm just being honest with you. I'm someone that 5 years ago when they locked everybody down, 4 years ago, whatever, I went into a direction that I don't know anyone else did. I'm like the only one. Pretty much went off and I built Noah's Ark. That's how I see it. And it took a long time. It's taken, it's still not there. But I started and I set a goal. And I told myself that in the end, I'm not going to get caught in all this. I'm not. And I've made all the moves that I can to try to mitigate any damage. I hope other people out there have as well. I'm talking in terms of gold, all that stuff, all the investments. This isn't going to last forever. I keep trying to tell you also about the 401k. That, see, I don't have a 401k. But if I had a 401k, I wouldn't have a 401k. I'd be cashed out. Some of you have done that here recently. Salutes. You're making moves. I'm glad to see you doing that. Some of you are making good moves, great moves. The same thing I'd do if I had a 401k. I just had to go about it a different way. I just had to save a different way, just not in a 401k. But yeah, people getting land, getting mobile vehicles or RVs or whatever they need, getting settled, getting ready for what's about to happen, taking it serious. It's good to see people are taking it serious, and quite a few. I think that they feel it, they see it. Writing's on the wall. Thank God. It's just good to see some people heaping signs. So yeah, I'm right there with you. I've dumped my whole life, sacrificed years of my life, years that just gone by like a blur. Like a blur. Just flying, but this whole year has. All summer, I ain't done nothing. I ain't done nothing but grind and bust my tail every day to make sure the ark's built and the doors are closed before it starts to rain, so to speak, and the flood comes. Because that's how the vision is given to me. It's like a race against time. And that's what it's been. It's been a race against time this whole time. And we're still on the clock. We still got sand in the hourglass. So I reckon it's not too late until we wake up one morning and it's begun. And what I mean by that is the collapse. There will be a full-scale collapse of something here initiated very soon. In front of this election, anything can happen. I mean, any day now, anything can happen. Seriously. Anything that affects power, the power grid, internet. Remember the whole IT thing that just happened here recently. That was a beta test, in my opinion. Remember, people could not complete transactions and all this other stuff. We had a big thing going on ourselves and couldn't do anything through the bank. And it was crazy. And it's like, if something like that happens large scale again, this IT glitch or whatever, it's not going to be good. All right. Heads up here for anyone that's still feeding their babies any of this baby food out there. They're saying that more than half of the commercial baby food that you find out there on the shelves right now is unhealthy. It's not surprising. Over 70% of the products failing to meet protein requirements. 44% exceeding total sugar recommendations. So these baby foods being stripped of all the nutrients in which they need and being loaded up with sugars if people are not paying attention. Young mothers or anyone else out there that's just not taking the time to read the label, maybe you should. For real, I guess it all comes down to who the person is. Because I know some people out there care, but a lot of people don't, unfortunately. And here's a positive in terms of food for all of you out there like to watch the diet or just want to eat healthier. They say that an anti-inflammatory diet can reduce your dementia risks, and it can do so by up to a third. So that's pretty big. You've got numbers like that. Individuals with any of the risks of like heart disease, type 2 diabetes, if you've had a stroke, anything like that, they say that if you eat the foods that are anti-inflammatory, this will help you. So what are they? It's the first thing you always think of. So what are they? Well, I'll give you the top 9 that they got here. These anti-inflammatory foods to add to your diet are, number 1, berries. Blackberries, blueberries, raspberries, strawberries. Shout out to Steve out there. He was offering to give me a bunch of berries, man. I didn't have a refrigerator to put them in when he was offering them. But all these berries help you. They have high amounts of antioxidants. And it can fight inflammation. About said inflation. I wish they could fight inflation. But these berries, top of the list, followed by nuts, which are a rich source of antioxidants. Number 3 is fatty fish, like salmon, sardines, anchovies. They have omega-3 fatty acids in them. Number 4, avocado. Dude, I'd never had avocado until old brother Tooch turned me on the avocado dip. A couple summers back. Much love, Tooch. Number 5, green tea and matcha. I drink a lot of green tea myself, and to regulate inflammation. Olive oil. Number 6. Number 7 is just vegetables, leafy greens, high in antioxidants, beta carotene. All that reduces inflammation. Peppers, such as bell and chili, contain vitamin C. So those are other things. Broccoli, cauliflower, which is some of the things I eat the most of. They're on the list. Turmeric. It's at 8, and number 9 is your magic mushrooms. Not the psychedelic ones, but mushrooms. They're rich in antioxidants. They're just good all in all. There, and that's your top 9 foods to avoid. Number 1 here isn't obvious to me. It's excess sugar or things that have high fructose corn syrup in it. This can trigger an inflammatory response in your body. You might want to think about this if you're having issues. If you, for real, fried foods can contain high amounts of harmful compounds. They can also contribute to inflation. And heavy alcohol intake can lead to systematic inflammation. So it's all about the inflammation in the system if you haven't figured it out there. So you can reduce that. You can live a lot healthier. Yeah. Now, to live and survive on this planet, we need water. Almost everybody. Well, I will say not almost, but everybody. Everybody needs water. You can't go without water. You're going to die, like you can go without food for weeks and weeks fasting, but you have to keep sipping water. You have to have some kind of water. You will die. This study here is showing that over half of the people worldwide expect harm from their water in the next couple years. And that's crazy. But it just goes to show how bad water is. Okay? I shared a device a couple times on the stream. It's expensive. I think it's like around $5,000 or something. Maybe it's cheaper. But it pulls fresh, clean, pure water out of the air. It separates it out of the air, out of the ions and everything. And it's an awesome machine. They should have them everywhere, but they don't. It's a shame about this planet, how evil it is with the technology and the information and the knowledge we got. When we have things like that, everybody should have access to it. Just like desalination plants should be all up and down the coastlines, turning salt water into clean water and piping it in all the cities. Okay? Most of the time, and you guys know this, the water system is an attack mechanism. Okay? They've been cyber attacked and all this other stuff. And I'm not talking just for ransom. Remember, when I reported this past year, where they attacked the water supply place and got into the chemicals. They were able to adjust what level of chemicals was going into the water. Now that's crazy. Add a little bit of fluoride, take away a little bit of this. That's crazy to get control of that. The best way to avoid it is water catchment, man. I'm just flat out, straight up. The best way to avoid this is to catch your own water and clean it yourself. That's it. I've lived a ton of places across, the area, different setups, and I've been across the country and seen a ton of different setups. And I tell you what, we were just at a place here recently that should have had very clean water in a city. That should have had fabulous water, but it didn't. It smelled. It's not even want to, you can be around it. I can't stand that. I can't stand when the water has got a chemical smell to it, or if the water smells like rotten eggs or anything like that. Now, if you dig a well and it's coming out like that, it's a little bit different. But when it's going through your whole freaking city water, municipal, and all the stuff that they do to it, and it's still smelling like that, you've got a major problem. And I don't trust it. I believe that this is where they can release diseases. This is where they are releasing diseases. This is what's getting people sick. This is one way to do it. One way to break free of it, again, is to catch your own water. Septic or cistern system. A lot of people I knew growing up most of my life here in this state of Kentucky, that's how they get by, and they always have, is they catch it right off their roof into a cistern tank. And they use a filtration system and a couple caps of bleach or this and that just to keep it clean, or whatever. Everybody's different, got different systems, but they catch their own water and they clean it. And they get by just fine in doing that. They don't have to deal with all these other issues. And Gabriel says sink water tastes like metals. Well, that sucks. I don't know what city you're in, but brother, I know. I've been to a ton of cities, but I've been there. I did a water test a long time ago on all these bottled waters and all that stuff. It makes me want to do it again. I got to get this little hand instrument. I think mine broke. And I was testing the fluoride in all the waters. And then I went out and I was testing, all the top level waters, like Fiji and all that. And we got surprising results. I believe that video is still up on my YouTube channel. I need to do an updated one. Matter of fact, here's one for you. If you're wondering what's going on with your water, Home Depot has these free water kits. They're not the most in-depth, but it's a free water test. You can get a little vial out of it, fill it up with your water, and you can ship it off for free. Just fill out this little thing that's on it, and they will tell you if it's, they'll give you can check if you want a purity test. They'll do a purity test on it. They'll check for hardness. They'll check for chlorine, sulfur, iron, things like that. And you can get an idea of what's going on there. You can also send it off to other places, but UV light is a way to do it. That's what I have as part of our system. I will tell you now, there's pitfalls to everything. I just took my UV light off of our system for the time being till I can fix the way that it leaks. That's the problem with UV lights. They're prone for leaking. Their gaskets and seals are not the best. The way they're made, I got one of the best out there, and it still was dripping. And so until I fix that and get that fixed, the UV light's off. But UV light is good too for killing all the stuff. I got a big triple filter system. I'm gonna have to do YouTube videos on this. I showed the outdoor catchment system in another one in terms of survival. So you can have an underground system, cistern, or you can have an above ground. I'm trying to do somewhere like 5,000-6,000 gallons to be able to hold on to, topped off. I think you'll get by pretty good. With that, everyone's different. Your needs are different. So for me, what I'm doing is I'm catching, I'm filtering, and, we were just sniffing and smelling all of our water and all this stuff today. Like, man, there's zero smell and all this, and I know that it's, I know no one's messing with it. I know that we're cleaning it and everything else, and yeah, it's a good feeling, finally, after all this time. To know that we can clean our clothes and at least shower and all this stuff in it. And as soon as all my test results get back on how clean everything is, I'll pass it through a Berkey and to the kitchen, and we'll be drinking it. This mountain water out here where I'm at in Appalachia, it's of the cleanest. It's of the cleanest. And I'm not talking out of the local river, because you don't never get nothing out of a local river that anyone's crap could be going into. But we're fortunate enough to have runoff on our own property that runs streams and we can catch the water that way. And it's filtered to the planet. But I will also say this, for anyone that's thinking about coming to Kentucky, here's a fun fact for you that I just discovered in terms of survival and all this other stuff. My old lady was like, she was reading the stuff off, and she was like, guess what? Guess what Kentucky is right behind Alaska? Well, it's the leader in the lower 48 states. It has the most miles of flowing water of any state. The most miles of flowing water of any state. With lakes and other waterways and ponds all strung out all across it, big, beautiful lakes like Del Hollow, Lake Cumberland. It goes on and on, man. It is absolutely beautiful in that aspect, but in terms of survival and fresh water flowing, Kentucky's number one. Only sits behind Alaska, which is crazy to me. Like, wow. Fortunate to have all that flowing fresh water here in this state, which is a vital resource, obviously. We also have a weird river. It's the Licking. It flows north. Just like what the Nile it is. And it's on the exact opposite side of the planet. I've got a globe. We had one set in my dad's living room, and you could sit there and you could pinpoint where the Nile was on this side of the planet, and literally it was like on the exact opposite side of the planet was where this Licking runs, and they both flow north. I thought that was crazy. And there's also crazy references to the whole Ohio Valley in the layout of it and connection to Egypt, because you've got Cairo, it's there in Illinois, all the way down to Memphis. And it is down in Memphis is a freaking huge pyramid in Tennessee, right there on the river. So all these things are mirrored if you don't know. All these things come to mind is talking about water. But it's the truth. Water catchment. I can't stress it enough, guys. It's time to get on it. Break away from that and then get off grid if you can. I'm about to show you some off-grid stuff like I've never shown you before here on this channel. So stay tuned. I'm going to be dropping the YouTube videos. You need to get off-grid ASAP. I told you, I've spent all this time to do it. Like right now, I'm running off lithium batteries in a huge inverter that's powering everything. And I do not have a smart meter on my home. Don't have a smart meter on the home. So now they're not tracking me or controlling me with the electric. They're not tracking, not listening, they're not tracking anything through it. They're also, through water consumption and the water meter, not tracking anything, not tracking nothing. Yeah. And that's the way that you need to be. That's the goal, is to break away from the beast. Telling you, where there's a will, there's a way. Just most people are lazy and don't do nothing. I've made it happen. I had nothing. I had my whole life rocked. I had everything taken from me. A year ago, just over a year ago. Financially, all that. And I never gave up. I stayed on the grindstone. I kept my eyes on the prize, even to this very moment. Every day, I'm up early. Buffer is the first time I've seen that. Not sure why, but going to keep this pushing. Fentanyl, responsible for 81% of overdose deaths for people under 24. This is horrific. These are crazy numbers, man. Crazy. I've said it before. If I look back at my generation and the people that I know are dead and gone, some of the coolest and brightest people I ever met, toughest, baddest, all of it, man, dead, gone. most of them that passed away, I'm going to say 90+%, from this crap. From this crap. The pills and the fentanyl. I can tell you in the past 10 years how many times I get a phone call from a friend or something that says, you hear about? It's always the same thing. This person died, overdosed. Fentanyl. It's usually the same story of they were just trying to get a pill, like a Percocet or a Vicodin, and they didn't know that it was laced with fentanyl. They weren't looking to die. Maybe they even legitimately needed it. Either way, it killed them. And it's killing millions. And this is a weapon. It's a weapon. It's doing its job. It's doing its job, and the government's allowing it. China is the driver of it, but the government does nothing, and you know it, to stop these things. It's crazy. Wait till I get to this other story here about China, the money, and how this can affect our whole economy, everything. All right, let's dive toward where we at, top of the hour. Turn the page here. Get into some of the political stuff here worldwide. And I want to point out that for the journalists out there globally, one place is more dangerous than anywhere. Mexico. Yep. Mexico is deadlier than Syria, Pakistan, Yemen, Gaza, you name it. Mexico. So that just shows you how crazy our border is right now. Everything on the other side, all these gangs, everything that's going on. How wide open the border is. How I told you, they're shooting across the border. They don't care. They don't care. You see journalists just go missing in Mexico, right next door. So, yeah, I think people sometimes forget. Yeah. All right, and now we'll dive into some of these politics. And I can't really. I don't even think this is the politic part, but this is touching on if Kamala gets elected. Kamala, whatever you want to call her. Gold is going to go to $10,000 an ounce. And I don't doubt it. I see it going to like 20,000, 25,000 by 2030. By 2030, which is like a little over 5 years from now. I see gold over 20,000. Easy. Easy. I just do. I mean, come on. Stream after stream, I'm always reporting on them buying record amounts, and the price just keeps on climbing. It's not going to stop. Mix in a couple catalysts, a couple crazy events, especially economic ones, or anything affecting our economy, our way of life, anything pertaining to the dollar. Yeah. It's at 2,500 right now. This thing could really, if it breaks 3,000, it could run hard. It breaks 3,000, it's in discovery mode. So, I told you for a long time about gold or silver, the precious metals. And if you were buying back when I told you, you no doubt made a good come up. And I know some of you did, because you've told me and you've shared it with me and you've shown me. And again, it's just feels good to know that other people out there listened and made moves in these departments. It's crunch time though, man. I would say if you're holding gold, yeah, there's a time to hold and there's a time to sell. You going to long hold for the 20,000? Sure, do it. Bury it. I know some of you that's been holding on to gold for years. If you need things, you might want to think of selling some of it to get those things. Just saying. Gold in my book, even if it pulls back, if you've seen gold pull back to $2,000, that is a buy in my book. For real. And Brenda, thank you for the 3 coffees. That is the best way to support the show. That is appreciated to the fullest here at the top of the hour. Much love to you, everybody out there. I want to thank everyone out there that shares the stream. Much love, Tracy. Welcome to the underground. Any other channel members out there that slid in that I missed? Gold though, man, I'm telling you, even if Trump gets in there, I feel the economy is coming down. It doesn't matter who they give you, it's coming down. So some Trumpers are so blind to everything, they won't even hear that. Look, if Trump gets in there, everything's just fine. Everything's just gravy. Woohoo, pop the bottles. That's not the case. You're about to get blindsided by a Mack truck. That happens. There ain't nobody better that they would rather dump this whole economy on for the history books than Trump. Ain't nobody they'd rather do it to. But if it has to come down and it's on their watch and they want to do it, controlled demolition, they could bring it down under Kamala, because Kamala, just by her statements of what she's going to do if she gets elected, by default, it's going to bring the whole thing down. Her price things that she's going to put into motion for the grocery stores, and I told you, history's shown us, it would destroy it. It would lead us into a depression. Wouldn't just come out and give $25,000 to everybody for a freaking house and all this other stuff that's going to drive it all through the roof? It's like designed destruction. It's like hyperdrive. It's like hyperdrive destruction. And they're telling you before it even happens. So you all know that Trump's packing stadiums, okay? Hegelian dialect, left-right paradigm, yes, it's all true. But he's packing stadiums. And whether you like it or not, the majority of your fellow Americans are just seeing Trump as the ticket out of this mess. And they're leaning that way, and you can't blame them for everything that they're living in. But they don't have the eyes to see the bigger picture yet. They're not there. They're being led by the nose by one side, and that's the dangerous part. You got to see the bigger picture. See that this whole thing is a charade. And not fall into it. All right? And thank you someone that bought 5 coffees. Appreciate it to the fullest. The world is a stage. All the wars, even World War I and World War II, they were staged, man. That's why they call them theaters of war. They were staged. I don't just say that. It's proven. Do your homework, research. Rothschilds controlled all the banks, all the money flowing into both sides. They still do today. Nothing's changed, man, except for the players in the game. So this brings me to one of the richest men on the planet, Mr. Elon Musk. He's being propped up as one of the saviors out here, one of the righteous men, right? Welcome to the underground. Uncommon news. He sings that in our song. Of all people, Doug, you sing that hook, and it's right there. Welcome to the underground. You sing it. That is so crazy to me. That is crazy. And it's just nuts. This is me. I don't know. This is nuts. This hits different. You guys don't know we got a song together. Me, Doug, and Crown Jewels, Fire the Flame. Welcome to the underground. It's Take Your Place is the name of the song. Yeah, man. That's crazy. Anyhow, Mr. Elon is going to war with what seems to be establishment characters from the left. the global left. They've expanded this whole political thing, this whole left-right thing, to a global thing. Where truly, it's a global thing. Left is establishment, if you have not figured this out, all the Baphomet worshiping, and the right is the pot of which, anyone that goes against the beast or establishment falls. If you want to rally against anything that they do or they say, well, you're some far right winger, how they always do. Throw you in a pot and call you names. But they label you, and they label us all extremists. And see, these are scary words they start to use now. It's like, no one wants to be labeled an extremist. Neighbors going to look at you different. Like, well, what about when you're all labeled extremist? Like, do you care then? Like, just because you go to church? Believe in God? Like, do you even care? Like they label all of us this. Not just because you're a Trump supporter or anything like that. Like, anything that's anti-establishment or freedom-loving gets you on a list. Some people don't want to hear it, but there's also shills out here. Guys that play a part. They're like actors. I say that guys like this are amongst the best actors in the world. They're beyond Hollywood because they leave Hollywood and come to this realm. It's like the upper echelon. It's like WWE wrestling, man. It's like so fake, but they're out here portraying it as real. You understand? It's what it is, man. It's so scripted, but yet the whole crowd is sitting here and buying into it, acting like it's real crap. It's like, get out of here. He's playing a part, man. And that's what he is doing. All right? Some people just don't have the eyes to see it. Some people idolize these people. Just like Trump. They see him as a savior, which is dangerous. Quantum Wrestling, thank you for the coffees. Mississippi in the house, True Bloods, much love, God bless. But don't be fooled by Elon. This is a man that's trying to put a chip in the back of all y'all's head so he can profit off of it. He wants to merge man and machine. He wants to mix iron and clay right out of your Bible. This is the man bringing it to the forefront. But I give him props on his openness for saying things that others just won't do. Like he straight up told us that they're trying to summons the demon. He said this. I repeat it all the time, and you need to never forget this. The things that he says, because he is the world's richest man. It's a naive arrogance, and he says some things just thinking, I don't know, he just says them. I'm sure sometimes the establishment's like, oh, crap, he said too much or this and that, but they all do. They're not perfect. They make mistakes and they say things. And part of the rules to the game is they have to tell you what they're doing in advance. That's how the black magic works. Do you understand? They have to tell you. They have to put it in a movie that you're all going to watch and put it in their subliminal or in a song backwards or something, And Sweet Pea coming through with the coffees. Much love. Thank you for the support. Appreciate it more than you know. So, let me get to I haven't even gotten to the deep part about Elon here. Elon playing the role of I'll buy Twitter and I'll save the world by fighting the left and saving the day. Fighting censorship and saving the day. That's what he did. He came in, he bought it. They propped him up as a hero. He now represents what free speech on X and all this, and I don't buy it. I'm a real deal cat, right? I've been around a long time, right? I know what's real, what's fake with a lot of this crap that someone new is just not going to see and know. He shows up. Maybe if you're new to the scene the past 5 years, you buy that he showed up and he saved Twitter. See, someone like me, a truther that's been around a long time, I'm in a dungeon. And over on X, I don't get no new followers. People don't hardly ever see me follow me. Just like a small bubble of a couple dozen that stay around, active, that they let see. All the rest of the thousands, they don't let see me. Same with YouTube. Same with all of it, like it's always been. Most people got to come to my channel to find the content. All right. Well, they'll show up a year later, like, where you been, man? I ain't seen your post in like 2 years. It's like, I'm here like every day. Like every day. I haven't gone nowhere. They've hid me from you. And X is no different. When Elon came in and took over, nothing changed. Nothing changed. My post didn't start to get seen by more of my followers. Nuh-uh. Nothing. When you look at my analytics, something crazy happens with someone like me. I'm flatlined. Which is insane because in my notifications every day, I see new followers all the time. All the time. But yet, when you go and you look, not a up, not a down, not a 1 here, there, down, 5 gone here, nothing, none of that. Flat line. And that's sick manipulation. That's in your face, F you. This is what we're doing. You can even tell everybody about it and show them. It's still not going to change it. We're still going to keep you in the dungeon. There's nothing you can do about it. That is X, and that's how much of a fraud he is. I do nothing to none of these fools. Ain't like I got the goods on them to put them in prison. I'm about to splurge them out here or something. Nah. Like, there's no reason for them to censor me the way they do. Period. But they do. And it's across all of them. And it just shows, as always, that we're hitting the target. We hit the money spot. And they don't like it. They don't like it. So, he's a liar, in my opinion. He's a fraud. He's a fake. And I don't trust him because he hasn't proven he's here for you and I. You understand that? He hasn't proven it. He's trying to put on a show like he has. But you can tell them by their fruits. Don't you ever forget it. Here's a warning that could hold true, though. I told you before, he'll say some things that ring true. Elon Musk warns that censorship of X is a certainty if Kamala wins. Well, I'd say yeah. I'd say it'd only get worse under that administration. How could it not? If you don't know, the judge in Brazil just shut down X. Okay? He just completely shut it down, ordered it banned in the country, and they're like going to war with Elon. So now it's sparking this left-right thing globally. Now, because that's what it is. If you want to break it down to the sides, that's where they're leaning. Elon's on the side with Trump and all them, and this other dude, Moraes, is on the side of the left and the establishment, the global establishment and all that. They're left-leaning, and that's all that ever is, left or right, left or right. And he's saying if she gets in there, X is done. Like, who cares at this point? Like, you're not helping me. I'm already in the dungeon. I'm flatlined. Like, is there anyone out there to throw us a true life raft? You know? We've been over here screaming SOS forever. Like, you ain't help us. You just ran us over with the boat. Act like you didn't do it. Do it in reverse. Thinking the motor was going to chop us up. Yeah, we know how y'all operate. You don't care. Ain't nothing going to change. This is a fake. It's a fraud. Just like all of it is. I don't see no true warriors out here. Huh? Everybody waiting for some white knights, some Hell's Angels to come save a day. Don't worry, we're about to get to that. So, why do the Democrats want to censor Grok's AI images? Well, I'm just going to scroll down through here. This is why. Because all these are fake. These are AI generated, but some people would buy them as real. They're all fake. I'm holding the closed sign. You see here, I mean, there's all kinds of different ones. They're all fake. It's sick. I guess that's when she was in there with old Willie. Or no, man, that's back when that looks more like back when she was with Montel. You guys do know that Kamala is one of Montel's old hoes, right? Right? You guys know Montel Williams off the TV show back when Jerry Springer and all that was on crazy. You know that Montel? Baldhead Montel? She was one of his hoes. Look it up. You will find, you will see. Man, it's a dirty game. It's one big club. It's you ain't in. You'll be glad you ain't in it. Man, talk about being passed around. That's, gosh, man. Yep, they passed her all the way around. Back around again. It's just nuts, man. Sick game. So, I already told you about how this is the perfect recipe for collapse, and it is. They call it communism. Like Kamala communism. Yeah, that's what it is. KAMU-nism. Communism. Yeah. It's going to lead to economic collapse without a doubt. She gets in everything that they've done, from the house pricing to the grocery stores. It says it here again. Expect it. Expect it. It doesn't matter if she can debate or not. It doesn't matter if she can talk or not. But Joe Biden can barely function. Did it matter? No, it did not. They put him in there, and you know it. And you know it. So she's just a ditz. You know, she's just, whatever her thing, burdened by whatever her stupid little slogan she kept saying all over the place. It just shows she's the Illuminati controlled full-fledged. That's how they do. That's all that little slogan was meant to do, is to show her allegiance there. What she did do here, accidentally apparently, is she came out and she says that her Green New Deal is her real agenda. Because when she can really talk and it's not scripted, it's almost like every single time she comes out and she says these things, and just admits exactly what they're trying to do. Nancy Pelosi does the same stuff. Here, I'll say that right here. Nancy Pelosi, they say right here, says the quiet part out loud to Bill Maher. And I'm just going to play this part because in it, you can hear where Pelosi is admitting that they want to make all the undocumented migrants documented. That's their whole goal. That's treasonous. Take all these illegals and just make every single one of them. Yeah, so here we go.
The California lawmakers just passed a law, it hasn't been signed by Governor Newsom, but giving government assistance to undocumented immigrants to buy houses. Mm-hmm. That's kind of a different place than the Democratic Party used to be on immigration, is it not? I'm not going to say that's what the country's going to do, but that's certainly where California is.
Well, let me just say, immigration had always been a bipartisan issue. I refer you to
But not free houses.
Well, that's not free housing. It's the American dream being available to more people. But understand this about immigration. The best speech on immigration was by President Ronald Reagan. This is the last speech I will make as President of the United States. I want to communicate a message to the country I love. And he talked about the Statue of Liberty and the beacon of hope it is to the world, and what America was preeminent in the world because our door was always open, and we will cease to be preeminent when we shut the door. Now, I don't do justice to the great communicator. Google it. It's a fabulous speech. And George Herbert Walker Bush continued in that respect for the diversity of America and the rest. California's always in the lead. Maybe others will follow that lead, but that's up to those states. But we are very blessed here with beautiful diversity
So
of our
you'd
newcomers.
vote for this law?
Excuse me?
So you'd vote for this law?
Well, I'm not familiar with exactly what it is, but making the American dream of home ownership available to all people is something we have to do for people who are here now.
This is before you were a citizen. This is undocumented. This is for the undocumented.
Well, what I would like to do is move them to documented. The fact that we can move them to documented.
You see right there, she just said it out loud, basically. And that's why they say she says the quiet part out loud. She just said, I want to take all these illegal migrants, invaders that are here, and I want to make them documented. She doesn't care if they're rapists, if they're murderers, none of it. She just wants to make them all documented. You know, it's insane. They're bringing this drove of people here as our replacement. It's what it is. And I wanted to point out here real quick that this Tim Walz, this VP candidate, his own brother has thrown him under the bus here. If you guys don't know, there's some details out there on him. His own brother basically saying, or his eldest brother, saying that this is not the type of character that you want in high office. 100% opposed to all of his ideology. Apparently he can't stand him. I don't know. It's like, how long did you know this big bro? If you're a big bro and you seen he was out of line, why didn't you do something about it when you were younger? Why didn't you straighten him up? Apparently he didn't or couldn't. But Tim is a hard left. His brother here is, I guess, leans right. But these are some of the things that Tim did that's on his record here that they say is nutty. He put tampons in the boys' schoolrooms, in the bathrooms, in the school bathrooms. He kept the National Guard sitting on the sideline while Minneapolis burned during the Floyd riots. Yeah, he did everything he could with his emergency powers during lockdown. Full scale. Funds free college for illegal immigrants. All those types of things. That's what Tim Walz is about. So his own oldest brother just can't even stand him. It's pretty crazy right there, the things he was saying. But I'm sure his brother knows a lot deeper dirt than what he's even saying right now. Now, on to this next one. We got a federal court upholding a ban on the Let's Go Brandon shirts being used in high school. Now, when it comes to freedom of speech, we've been getting dinged left and right. I think everybody already forgets it was just a few months back, not even, that the Supreme Court Justices Amy Coney Barrett, the one Trump put in place, made a devastating ruling against our free speech, our freedom of speech, and everything else, and everyone just looked past it. And it just gets lost in the headlines along with everything else. Well, here we go. A federal court upholds a ban where kids can't even wear a shirt into school that says, "Let's Go Brandon." Can't do it. Can't do it. Not here in commie America. Can't do it. They won't let it. Your Supreme Court, there's a federal court here. Either way, we've seen the treason coming out of these places, man. It ain't righteous. But, yeah, kids can't simply have freedom of expression. We know no cussing in this, no threats. Could have been, FJB, literally with the cuss word and everything. FJB doesn't even have. I'm sure they would have lashed out on that. See, that's once the ball starts rolling, they won't stop. They'll ban everything, anything, and everything. They'll say, "Oh, it offends me." You can put a picture of your face on there, and they can be like, "It offends me." Where's the line in the sand? All right, so going to Trump. Trump endorses a brand new Florida marijuana measure. But a lot of people pissed off about this and are like, hold up. We thought Trump was like for us. We thought he was for all that, like for our rights. And Mr. Operation Warp Speed, if you forgot, he's calling for a public smoking ban. That's what he's calling for. And I'll be honest with you, I don't like none of this talk. I like none of it. Because it's look, I quit smoking cigarettes. I don't like cigarette smoke, but let me tell you something. If you want to smoke a cigarette, you should have the freedom to choose to do so. This is America. We go out somewhere, I think there should be an option. There should be a section for smoking. People want to smoke, there should be a section for non-smoking. I'll go eat in the non-smoking. But someone wants to go out there where there's smoking and eat, go for it. That's your choice. You should have the choice. You understand me? Not someone come in and just ban everything everywhere and you not have a choice. That's Gestapo. That's totalitarian, man. It's what it is. And that's what they want to do. So I don't know, for everyone I thought they were going to freely smoke down on the beach somewhere in public. No. Old Trump, he don't want that. He don't want you smoking on the beach. He don't want you lighting up your medical marijuana that you even have a card for or anything like that. Well, I guess medical, you might get away, but I don't think. They'd still say, no smoking in public, even if you got a medical card. No smoking in public. That's what they're going to say. And dude, like I said, I quit smoking cigarettes myself, but you should have the right to do it. You should have a right of choice, man. It's pissing me off. All this stuff, man, because it's people not seeing. I don't know. A lot of the people in the politics just get blinded by all this stuff. They don't realize what's really happening, going on. I think I have a clip here that I want to share with you. Oh, it's actually right here on the next one. Let me just pull this up. All right. I want you to hear what Trump is saying. Because Trump says a lot of things, and all the Trumpers just turn a cheek when he says it. Okay? They just turn a cheek and act like he didn't say it when it happens. Just like when he said, well, let's take the guns first and then ask questions later. As I look down at AK-47, much love. You know, one of the biggest warning signs that I've been giving you for the longest time is about the whole beast system and the tracking system. And one of the ways they're going to do this is through a biometric ID system. The real ID is what they've been trying to push full scale. A lot of places have to have it by 2027 or all of them by like 2030. And the whole tracking system will track everyone everywhere. You just need an excuse to put it in place. You need an excuse for the people to accept it. And if Trump is speaking it, would you accept the biometric tracking if Trump says we need it? Guarantee you all the sheep following Trump do. Listen, he's using the border as an excuse to push this. He's using the border to try to say there has to be a biometric tracking system for all these people coming across the border. Well, that's garbage. It's not just going to be for them. It's a twisted black magic lie right there. It's going to be for everyone to track your every move and have all your biometrics stored on it, which is dangerous because, look, if the government had it your way, you do away with all passwords, right? Do away with all passwords and just use your thumbprint. Or guess what? Just use your eye or your iris. Use your biometrics. Well, let me tell you something. A password can be reset if something happens. If someone steals and hacks, like happens every day, your biometric data, it is over. You cannot reset your iris. You cannot reset your thumbprint. You cannot reset none of it. It is game over when this happens. They'll be in all your stuff in the blink of an eye, and they will override anything you try to do because they will have the biometric authority to do so. The iris scan, the thumb scan, they'll have all of it. And you're done. You're done when this happens. But this is what Trump wants you to do. He wants you to get on the system. Listen.
Number 8, we will finally complete the biometric entry-exit visa tracking system, which we need desperately. For years, Congress has required biometric entry-exit visa tracking systems, but it has never been completed. The politicians are all talk, no action, never happens, never happens. Hillary Clinton, all talk. Unfortunately, when there is action, it's always the wrong decision. Do you ever notice? In my administration, we will ensure that this system is in place. And I will tell you, it will be on land, it will be on sea, it will be in air. We will have a proper tracking system. Number 8.
Did you just hear what that man said? Did you just hear what Donald Trump just said? Oh, go back to sleep. Go into the covers. Go in the other room. Leave. You can't handle it. Any of you. Yeah. Try to get out of here the best of your ability. Walking righteous is, I think, the only way to do so. To prove to something higher that you're worthy of leaving here is how I see it. What do you think, Trumpers? Huh? What do you think? You're Trump saying this is going to be this big, bad system in air, in water, on land, everywhere. You're not going to be able to escape it. He just said it. Under his administration, they're going to make it happen. He's proudly screaming it. And all the sheep are just like, yeah, yeah, yeah. Like, you didn't stop to think for a second that this is tracking everyone? You fools. You fools. And they're using this border thing as the excuse? You fools. And you're just going to accept it. This is how people accept the beast right here, dude. And everything that comes with it. Because they just bow down to a false idol. And listen to whatever he says, thinking he's going to save the day. When he's leading you right into the pit. Who needs a CBDC to track your every move when you've got this? Huh? Huh? Oh, yeah, he wasn't supporting the plan to track you with the CBDC now. Everybody's all on board with that. Like, oh, no, that's a bad thing. Oh, no. Oh, but the biometric tracking's good now. Get the fuck out of here. It's all beast. And only a real man has the balls to say it. All the rest of the cowards jump behind Trump. Chump. It's false idol. You know me. Anyone that's been around for a minute. I ain't never been on a Trump train. Never will be. And we've been calling him out the whole time. I've been calling him out through many election cycles. While dudes were making millions selling t-shirts like Hillary for prison and using the whole movement to make money off of. Was I out there doing that? Hell no. But all these other fools are still doing it. Still going to the Trump rallies. Still just selling their product. That's all anybody cares about. They don't care about this country. Fake patriots all over the place. Oh, I guess that brings me to my next one.
Congress has required biometric.
I suppose a lot of you heard that the Hells Angels were on the way to save the country. right? Come on now, you know you did. Some of you were sending me the links and all this other stuff. Well, I'm going to run a piece by Grace here, and shout outs to Really Graceful. She's always doing great work, always has for years, followed her for a long time. And Grace has just earned her stripes just over the years. She's just a solid in my book. And I think her opinions on this one right here are spot on. I'm going to run a piece here. It's a 7-minute piece by Grace. And she's on the money. So I'll probably play the whole thing because it's worth it here. So here we go.
The open border situation finally coming to a head in the United States. We've heard the whispers, we've seen the viral videos, but now it seems those distant concerns are knocking right on our own doors, especially in Aurora, Colorado. You see, political upheaval and economic freefall in Venezuela have been spinning out of control for what seems like a decade. People are fleeing, which is not surprising, but what is surprising is what you see when cameras sweep across those throngs of folks crossing the border. Where are the old folks, the children, the women, the family men? Rather, young males, military-aged, with a certain look in their eyes that doesn't exactly scream seeking refuge, are being shown. Unfortunately, Colorado is in a big mess right now. The Tren Aragua gang from Venezuela has slithered into Aurora and set up shop. We're talking about shootouts in the streets, taking over entire apartment buildings, changing locks, collecting rent like they own the place. The gang is reportedly breaking into homes while pretending to be delivery people. An otherwise quiet American town is quickly descending into a third world hellhole thanks to left-wing progressive policies.
Or is it?
Aurora has been in the national spotlight as videos have been circulating on social media showing gang members taking over apartments. It's important to note the city nor the Aurora Police Department have confirmed any of those claims.
Contacts with our residents, reassuring them about the criminal activity that's happening here and how we're going to address it. We're out here, we want to reassure the people that live in this community that we are actively investigating criminal activity that's happening and listening to them. I'm not saying that there's not gang members that don't live in this community, but what we're learning out here is that gang members have not taken over this complex.
I'm pausing it right there. Do you hear this? Do you hear this? Do you hear the cops saying that they're there? They're showing the apartment building right there in front of you with the cops walking into it. I also have heard from my own people on the ground in the area there that there was nothing that they seen that was going on in terms of massive takeovers or anything crazy. There was nothing to be seen. That's nuts. The police right here, everybody on the ground is telling you right here, right now, this is a fake story. So we've been fed some fake footage. Mind you, Trump was telling his whole crowd about this. He was telling the whole crowd that these migrant Venezuelan gangs are taking over apartment buildings. Well, if this footage was fake and it's not real and they haven't done it, dude, what the? Okay, so this is fake? What about the bikers? Well, guess what? Turns out the footage of all the bikers is old. Yeah, I'll let some of you sit there and chew on that for a minute. If you don't know, sure enough, the biker footage supposed to be going out there to confront these guys and all that is old. Yeah, here we are 3 days later. They would have been there kicking some ass if that was the case. Never happened. It's never happened. It's not going to. Another pipe dream. Another fraud. Another bunch of people hoping that somebody else is going to save the day. It's what I always see. You know how many times I've went to D.C. and nothing's happened? You know how many trucker Things never happened. 1 million truckers gonna show up, never happened. 1 million mask march, never happened. Operation Spring, DC, never happened. He talks all this crap, dude. I've gone over and over and over and over again to these places just to see no one show up. But I'll go over just to be disappointed every time. That's why I tell you, you don't need to take it to DC. You got a capital in your own state. Take it there. Guarantee you there's some things you can take up with your senator, but do it peacefully. You can do it peacefully. Start there. I'm telling you, because the rest of this is a sham. It bothers me to see so many people start sharing information like this. Oh, there's, in the video, the guy said there's 9 of us and we're maybe picking up 10 more. That's 19, give them 20. There was 20 Hells Angels. That whole country thought was, what, they were going to go save the day? Like, it's a part of all of us that want this to happen. We want someone to rise and to save the day. But man, like, it ain't even real. And that's a problem. Look, if it was real and they were really riding and all this stuff, it's a whole different story. But I see so many people get duped. That's why I do what I do out here. That's why we do this. We clear the air. Instead of people still out there thinking tonight when they go to bed that they're going to wake up and the Hells Angels, they'll be there by tomorrow morning. And tomorrow morning, we'll definitely hear something about this. They'll definitely have their asses kicked. You know, all these Venezuelans dudes' asses kicked. No. It's all an illusion. It wasn't even real.
We made an effort to the last few days to just really ask the specific questions and the direct questions in terms of...
Can you confirm whether or not this gang has taken over these buildings there in Aurora?
So there are several buildings actually under the same ownership, out-of-state ownership, that have fallen.
Listen to what this dude says. I think that this is a giveaway. Listen. He quickly says, we're not sure who sent them there. If it was this, it was that, or our federal government, or... It's like, hold on. What did he just say? Did he just say our federal government could have sent these guys? Yes, he did.
To these Venezuelan gangs. Somebody put them there and somebody funded it, whether it's federal government or not. We're trying to find out who. They've in fact have kind of pushed out the property management through intimidation and then collected the rents.
This has alarmed neighbors and local authorities, causing the Aurora Police Department to create a special task team. But it seems like no matter how many taxpayer dollars are funneled into the situation, the problem at hand is never resolved but always downplayed. And you're gaslit as someone who lives there. And instead of politicians and police leaders saying, yeah, you're right, we need to do something about this, the hatred and vitriol is being directed at local citizens who demand for law and order to be restored to their town. Reported yesterday by Aurora Police, they're denying that TDA has taken over entire apartment complexes and say the situation is under control.
All right, so after attending this press conference here on Colfax, I can see that according to our city and our leaders here in Denver, the problem is not the Venezuelan street gang Tren de Aragua. The problem is those of us who are talking about it. We are the ones creating problems.
Over a month ago, Homeland Security issued a warning specifically to the cities of Denver, Colorado, Albuquerque, New Mexico, Chicago, Illinois, and New York City that the TDA gang's leaders had given their gang members the go-ahead to kill local police. This was confirmed by a 19-year-old Venezuelan illegal alien who was arraigned on charges including 2 counts of attempted murder for shooting 2 NYPD officers during a traffic stop in Queens. He claimed affiliation with the Venezuelan gang TDA and revealed that the gang smuggles guns into migrant shelters in NYC, and that this is a common practice across every sanctuary city in the U.S. And it's almost like, I'm going to sound crazy here, hold on to your butts, almost like these shelters are not for refuge. All of our best young men are now mobilized to the other side of the world in America's forever wars, and Democrats are contracting various gangs to go and create chaos amongst American cities. So right on cue, the Hegelian dialectic of problem, reaction, solution plays out right before us. People with good intentions are calling on the military and National Guard to intervene. There was even a rumor flying around the internet yesterday that the biker gang Hells Angels were headed to Aurora to take on the Venezuelan gangs. That's a feel-good story right there. Everyone loves a little vigilante justice, myself included. But unfortunately, it appears that all of the footage being circulated online of the Hells Angels traveling across country are older videos. And surely if the Hells Angels were headed to do this, they wouldn't be posting about it on Twitter ahead of time. At least I would hope not. But rest assured, if any vigilante justice actually took place, the government of Colorado and the police of Colorado would be deployed against the Hells Angels instead of the TDA.
We need to address the issue of immigration and the challenge we have of undocumented people in our country. We certainly don't want any more coming in.
The California lawmakers just passed a law. It hasn't been signed by Governor Newsom.
They've taken over apartment houses because these stupid people that we have leading our country are allowing these people, these criminals, to come into.
You see, here's Trump pushing it in his rally. He's using the whole thing, the video clip, he's using the whole talking point, which the cops just showed us and every other people are saying, like, isn't even happening. Like, I would like to see independent footage from this building, if anyone is out there. If there's anyone out there in the Colorado or Aurora area that can get any footage of this building or any local interview of anyone, of anything from down here, you don't even know how big that would be. It would be like huge because no one else is showing anything. It's just like, is anyone else out there? Does anyone have the capability of going down to this area and getting some footage or asking some questions politely, flipping over some stones? You never know what you're going to find. Okay? We could swing it one way or another. One of you guys could do it. That's huge. One of you could do it. For real. Holler at me, dabu7@yahoo.com. If you get anything on this.
Our country, and we're going to get them the hell out of here. And this is just the beginning. Wait till you see what happens. Wait till you see what they're doing.
We put so much focus on this gang or this group, but we really should be redirecting our attention to the puppeteers of all this chaos. The people who drew out plans hundreds of years ago, the politicians who opened the doors wide, the systems that let these folks slip through the cracks. Why does the U.S. taxpayer have to pay for these people to live here? And I can't help but wonder when it comes to the open borders debate. Maybe it's not just the borders that are open, but a Pandora's box we've been too afraid to close. This is the rot and decay of a declining empire, one that is being attacked from all fronts, especially within. And most folks are just completely complacent, ignorant to all that is going on, until it happens to them. In their town, in their community, in their neighborhood, when they're paying their rent to some muchacho or whoever really. We've got Middle Eastern terrorists, cannibal Haitian gang leaders, and Chinese nationals coming in through the border. By the way, who wrote that check and who flew them out and dropped them off at the border so they could cross it? Anyway, when these folks suddenly decide to make a fuss about it, it'll be too late. What do you think, internet friends?
Yeah, so I had to share that with you. It was a good one. Again, anyone out there that wants to be a true patriot and just grab the camera and start shooting film and just getting the truth. It's there to be had. I know that's a hot spot. It's a big story right now. Any information anyone can get would be huge. dabu7@yahoo.com. If you get anything, and if you want to stay anonymous, I keep you anonymous. It doesn't matter. It's all about the information. Crazy lightning, D. White says. Well, stay safe out there, my brother. The storms have been crazy. The one we seen yesterday, the day before, was crazy. All right, I'm going to try to get through some of these other political headlines here real quick. If you don't know, another person has been taken down, arrested for threatening to kill Trump. This guy was doing so on social media, like TikTok, Facebook, things like that. FBI said in this criminal complaint that this man, Justin Lee White, 36, of Missouri, accused of interstate communications to spread a slew of online threats to injure Trump, Republicans, and law enforcement. Apparently, he just kept going on and on with these threats. This is what happens if you do that. We've seen it before. They're making visits for online posts. You have to be smart and think about it out there these days. I mean, if you're putting anything with a threat, you're just putting yourself out there, asking for them to come and mess with you. I don't know. It's I don't know. The threats out here, it's just kind of a crazy thing. Well, look at this. This is a crazy move that took place tonight, and this is kind of shocking to some. The United States just stole the aircraft of Maduro, the president of Venezuela. He had it sitting, this Dassault Falcon 900, sitting in the airport in the Dominican Republic. About a $13 million aircraft, and they're saying that he basically bought it because it was made in America and got it out of America into his possession, and this is like his Air Force One, and they just swooped in and got it and flew it into Florida. So they got his main plane, but he's got closer and closer ties now with China, Russia, Iran, Syria, all them. And they'll help him in any major way here. They've got his back. They're sitting on a gold mine. Venezuela is sitting on an absolute gold mine. When it comes to oil, you think Iran and other players are key, but Venezuela, when it comes to what they're sitting on in terms of natural resources down there, they're a powerhouse. But it's as if the United States has tried to suppress that the whole time. They've destroyed them, their economy. Their money is virtually worthless, turned the streets into chaos. And they've tried to install another leader there without taking out the Maduro. So, yeah, that's a pretty bold move. They're saying it's also a statement move to show other people around the world that if you want to mess with the feds or our government, this is what they'll do if they can. So stealing their assets. Not surprising. Now, at this moment in time, I hate to report that we are not liked by most of the world. And places our soldiers used to be able to go freely and nothing happened to them, it's changing. Turkey is one of those places. Turkey is supposed to be an ally. We've got weapons there. I'll show you here in a second, but this is nuts. We had an American soldier that was serving on a U.S. warship, arrived at a port in Turkey. There's several guys, Americans. They get ran up on, and then they throw a bag over one of them's head. It gets crazy, and they're screaming, "Go home, Yankee!" Here, I'll play the.
Biz Türk gençliğiz. Türkiye Gençlik Birliği'yiz. Bizim Mehmetçiğimizin başına. Ümraniye'de. Geçir.
You see, that was all they show, but there was a couple Americans there at least. You heard one guy yelling for help. And then the bald dude there, they got a bag thrown over his head. They're screaming, "Go home, Yankee." This is what is happening to our military men that are just going out in the streets, not even in uniform. They're in plain clothes, and they can just look and tell that they're American. Maybe the word spread, those are soldiers, they came off the dock, whatever. They're on them. They're on them. They cannot freely move about in these countries. This is what happens. They're getting mobbed. So they might as well just be in uniform and be armed up to protect themselves, because at this point the mob's going after them. Next, they're lucky they're not in like Mogadishu, because they would have just they'd have done burned their bodies. Let's just be real about it. But it could get to that level. The hatred there, globally. Look at this. Turkey just formally requested to join BRICS. Can you believe this? Leaving the whole NATO thing and requesting to join BRICS. Literally going with the enemies. And that is nuts, because we've got nuclear weapons sitting in Turkey. We sure do. It's on the list right here. Netherlands, Belgium, Italy, Turkey. All of them. All these places, man. And we've known this. We've known they've had weapons staged there for a long time. And I've brought this up before. Like, they're a wild card, man. Turkey's a wild card. When it comes to World War III and this stuff popping off, how can you trust someone like that? How can you have your weapons staged there? Turkey's interesting. Its ancient history is very interesting. The seat of the throne of Satan, so to speak, was discovered there. Göbekli Tepe. All these ancient places. But yeah, going with the enemy. In the meantime, China expanding its nuclear arsenal faster than any other nation on the planet. You can look at the map here and you can see that Russia controls more nukes than anyone, followed by the United States. But Russia's got us beat. They always have. They're strong in this department. It's why there's always talk of nuclear war. With everything going on with Russia, like, they're getting so close, like every day. Ukraine, these drone strikes inside of Moscow and all this. The day they hit, like, the Kremlin and, like, really tactically take out some stuff, Russia could return fire with a tactical nuke. They would and they will, I feel. Get to more of that here in a minute, but China is also stating that their military capabilities with AI are evolving, that they now have these robots, and that they talk about these robots. They put them out on display, these robots at this conference, and these robots can run up a mountain in rocky terrain. It's crazy, with these dogs. These are the Chinese models. Not Teslas or anyone else that's like you've seen out there before. Like, this is the Chinese models, and they say guaranteed these things have been equipped with weapons, but they're not showing us. And they've got industrial, humanoid, canine, and other robots, all that have been weaponized, so to speak. They're like, watch out. Like, China doesn't even need to send a 1 million-man army to do nothing. They're going to use a ton of AI robots. China's going in reverse, if you guys don't know as well. They're declining. Their numbers are dwindling, and they will continue because of everything they've done there. India is now the most populated country on the planet and projected to continue to be for the rest of our lives. Unless something crazy happens and wipes a lot of people out and we start to see them Deagle numbers come to life. I told you about these guys, the Houthis, striking ships, tanker ships, and all this. It used to never be a problem, an issue, because U.S. military used to roam these waters and nobody dared do what's happening now. What's happening now, since we've basically been weakened out of nowhere for no reason, I guess, they're rocking these merchant ships. They're blowing up oil tankers. They're launching missiles. They're sending kamikaze boats in, other projectiles. I told you in the last stream that the spill that's going on there, they're saying that it could end up being the biggest spill in history. That is crazy. To end up being the worst spill ever. This one says the worst spill in a century, but the last one said, like, in history. That's huge. They're trying to say that that boat that I showed you guys looked like pyrotechnics. They're like, we think that it may be leaking. It's like, get out of here. Like, you know it's leaking. We see them blow it to pieces. Get out of here. Things sitting on the bottom of the ocean to sit there and say, we think it may be. Like, get out of here. Like, they're not even like, I guess they are telling you here, it could be the worst spill in a century. That's how bad it is. And they've hit more. They've hit another tanker and a merchant ship. So a merchant ship, a couple tankers. This is all in the Red Sea. This is definitely going to stop traffic. This is going to stop commerce, goods, everything that goes through here. If you don't go through there, you got to go all the way out and around Africa. All the way down and around the Horn of Africa. It's a whole different animal. It's a control thing. Dude, I'm telling you, things are heating up globally. Things go live with Taiwan and those shipping lanes in the Red Sea get tangled up. It's over. It's everything we ever warned you about. But I hope you have supplies that you can get here in America. But check this one out. The International Criminal Court. I've told you, they've got warrants out for many people. Vladimir Putin being one of them. Benjamin Netanyahu being one of them. But let's see them tell one of these countries to snatch up Netanyahu. Well, check this out. Vladimir Putin is openly going to a country that is a part of NATO. Mongolia. And the International Criminal Court is basically saying, look, if you do not arrest him, there's going to be severe repercussions. If you do not do what you're supposed to do per whatever the rules are out of the Hague-based court, Chapter 9, whatever, then you're going to suffer repercussions. I don't know what they're going to do, like sanction them, or I don't know what they're going to do to Mongolia if they don't arrest him. I don't see them doing it. I don't see them arresting Vladimir Putin. I don't see them having the kahunas or even wanting to do that. But they're being threatened. We'll see. We will see. In the meantime, Ukraine presents the White House a list of targets deep inside Russia. It's rather obvious. It's us fighting Russia inside of Ukraine. Everybody knows it. It's a proxy war. Russia is about to lower the threshold for nuking the West. That's crazy. What does it mean for us? Well, it means that they're going to drop a tactical nuke somewhere. Something is going to give off a mushroom cloud in that area. It was on the Chinese rover pic. I got a video on YouTube of it still, man. It's why did the Chinese hide a mushroom cloud on what seems to be a normal picture of planet Earth behind the rover? Insane. It's yet to happen. I'm telling you, it's on the table. There's like a bunch of cards on the table. Some get taken off. A couple new ones get put on every day. But like one is on the table and been on the table this whole time. It's crazy, this Illuminati playing game, this card game, and the cards and how accurate they've been and how many come to life and all this stuff. That Trump enough is enough one was crazy too, because it was going for thousands of dollars already. Last we had looked, even the one charismatic leader, it doesn't show his face, but it shows a blonde-headed dude, and people are associating that with Trump. But the enough is enough is Trump's face, and you can see him yelling. You can see it. It's him. It's him. And it's just nuts, man. Illuminati playing cards have hit it on the head. And talk about having knowledge beforehand. insider knowledge. Yeah, sure did. Just like Matt Groening, dude that runs The Simpsons. You wonder how much stuff is always stitched in there before it happens. You're like, how could it be? It's because they have foreknowledge. Wanted to throw this one in there real quick. People that want to ignore all the migrants that are here, well, the migrants so far just in the UK that are unemployed are costing the taxpayer there $8.5 billion. And they're very small compared to our country here. But that's what it's done to the UK already. It's turned it flip upside down, man. Like, them boys, they like either go to war, like, or do something, or get ran out of the country. And it's a lesson to be learned because it's like that everywhere. You either make a stand, or they're going to try to run you out. And who's doing this are the rich, like George Soros, Bill Gates. It's who's doing it. And they're openly doing it. We know it. We know who's doing this. It's treason. You know George Soros lives in this country, in New York? You know this, don't you? It's treason, man. He should be held in court and tried for his treason. For paying people not only in other countries, but in our own country to cause chaos. It's valid. It is valid. In the name of God, it is valid. They are evil demons that are causing all this, and they are bringing in the replacements for everybody. Whether you're in Germany, the UK, the United States, doesn't matter. The replacements are being brought in. In UK smaller scale, it's flashing off quicker than the United States, sooner. So you're seeing there what is ultimately meant to happen here. So people that want to turn a cheek to it, you're foolish. You better care for our brothers and sisters across the pond, man, because we're in this together. And it's the same goons, same sellouts that got us in this mess. Same politicians, so to speak, that bow down to powerful lobbyists, which is, again, treason, that sell us out for these agendas. Bringing these people here, trying to gaslight you and make you feel bad. Like, oh, they're migrants. They deserve to be here. Shame on you. When in the streets, they're trying to beat the crap out of you and knock the piss out of you and rape you and all this other crap. And if you call the cops show up and then want to arrest you, not them. That's garbage. That's treason. I wouldn't stand for it for a second. And some people don't. And some people would sacrifice their life on this. And God bless every soul out there that rises against the beast. But sometimes you've also got to be smarter. Sometimes you've got to be the matador. Sometimes you got to be able to get out of the way of the bull. But when it's in your home country, you've got to make a stand. This is the tough spot we're all in. You have to dig in. It's going to come in neighborhood after neighborhood. But still, if your neighborhood gets outnumbered by a gang of 100 or 200 that come sweeping in, what are you going to do, man? Like, you've got to be aware. This is it, man. This whole migrant thing, Venezuelan thing, there may be aspects of it that aren't true, but the gangs are there. And these migrants are here all across the country. And I really thought, well, this very well could be the beginning of it. If everything would have actually been real, you could say, okay, this is the beginning of it. This is the beginning of the news headlines when you're seeing that these gangs are causing chaos in our country openly, all over. It could start to spread. Next week, it could be another city or something else. But if we keep finding out that it's all fake and fake footage and this and that, well, dude, someone's pushing a massive psyop on us then, ain't they? Some of us just ain't stupid. Some of us, this isn't our first rodeo. And look at this one. Chinese narcos in Toronto running a command and control center. And they're laundering money, okay? They're saying it's fentanyl money, as I was reporting and telling you earlier. Now listen, this gets deep. This gets crazy. I'm telling you, I think that this may be this could be a linchpin that brings down the whole game. The whole game. Okay? Now listen, because they're openly talking about it. It's like, why, how, and why haven't you taken them down? Who are the other players, and why are you not naming them? Well, check this out. TD Bank in Canada, in Toronto. It's Toronto Dominion Bank. They are being accused of being a part of this whole money laundering thing with China, where China's come in and basically taken over this whole thing. All the money they're making from all this fentanyl that's going through America, they're laundering it right here in this bank. Well, then it gets bigger than this. They say there are major U.S. banks connected in this, but they will not name a single one yet. Not one, okay? Not a single one, okay? Now, hold up. I put a video out on this, and I warned about this. I've been tracking, because you know how we do. We got to watch what the richest people on the planet are doing, right? Warren Buffett, all of a sudden, is selling stocks and making moves he don't make. He's making moves indicative of someone that's getting out of something en masse. He's selling off tips, and he's selling off these tips big time, en masse. Dumping, and he's not buying up dips of the other stocks that he's traditionally bought. He's doing something different, and he's dumping specific bank stocks. Now, Warren Buffett has always been big on his Berkshire Hathaway stuff. But when it comes to a stock that he's held in terms of banks, Bank of America, or BOFA, has been the big one. And thank you, Bay Area Believer in the house. Much love. Thank you for that. So dude's dumping, and I've told you about this. He's been dumping. This started in July. But why? Why? When he started looking into this, like, why is he doing this? And why all of a sudden are these red flags starting to fly? And he's not the only one doing it. Why? Well, let's go back to this. Investigators believe that financial institutions have been allowing internationals from China that are on student visas to drop billions, with a B, billions of dollars every single month into every single one of the biggest banks in America. Dude, that is so explosive. That right there, when they name one bank, it's done. Sunk. Gone. The stocks will blow out on them. They will dump out like you've never seen. And it will begin. It will be a catalyst to bring this whole thing down. And guess who's responsible? China. Here is a linchpin. It will be the dumping. In every bank that is mentioned, if someone catches wind that this bank was involved, look what they just said. Like, all of the major banks in the United States are tied into this. Bank of America is one. And that's what it says in this other article. Someone hints it, and they're like, I just wonder, is he sitting here right in front of us selling because he knows something? Of course he knows. He's one of the world's richest men. Of course he knows. Of course that's what he's doing. Right in front of your face, it's what he's doing. And he can't keep it secret because everything's open in the public. He either makes the move or he don't, and he's doing it. Subtly here, he's doing it. He's done pocketed $6 billion in making this move. So, I'm warning you now, guys. If you've got money in a bank that they name, you better watch out. It's just going to happen one morning. Anytime now. Unfortunately. Hope you guys been preparing. Sand's just about out of the hourglass. Yeah, I always see that the Wicked Witch in the hourglass and those crazy monkeys that flow around. I always see this, and I always think to myself, I ain't got no crystal ball like she had, and I never see what's in the crystal ball, but I see that hourglass. It shows me that hourglass. It shows me we're that close. Like looking close at it, like we're that close. We're right there. There's a few grains of sand left in it, man. Final hour. I don't know, man. Lots going on, that's for sure. I don't know what's going to happen today, tomorrow. All you can do is be prepared. That's all I know to do is be prepared to the fullest. It's all you can do. Hopefully, if you do that, you can sleep good at night. And you'll know that you and your family are protected. Your neighbors, your community. In the end, we do win. Those who walk righteous. Look, we all die. We all drop this body, man. It's pretty obvious at this point, right? Don't kid ourselves. I'm fighting for that eternal life, truly. For another life in a better body, in a better place, with better entities, souls incarnated in that life with the Most High. Get out of this low vibration place. I want to get out of here and I don't ever want to come back. I suggest you do the same. The way I see it is if something higher is watching, it would only want the best in those that walk the righteous, those that make the best decisions. So just do the best you can, walk as righteous as you can in this life, knowing something higher is watching it all. If you're going to graduate to an upper echelon, you've got to seek it. You've got to seek it. Seek it through your actions. Remember what I said earlier. You could tell them by their fruits. And so the same, someone can know what you are about by seeing it in you. So help others do good. Be the change that you seek. I love you guys. And if the Lord doesn't return in the coming days, I hope to see you here on the next stream. Going live now Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, 9 p.m. Eastern. Right here, that's the schedule. Looking to rock it out. I'll be dropping videos on YouTube as well. Hit that bell notification. Make sure to check out the channel. Drop in. Check out my YouTube channel on the daily. I mean, when you're censored like me, that's what I got to tell people. Hitting subscribe, bell notification, all that, that's good. But you still stop in and see me every afternoon. Just might want to check in. Because from here on out, I'm going to be dropping stuff left and right. I got survival videos I'm going to be dropping left and right. On top of just regular news and stuff popping off. So, I'll be doing it right here on this channel, on YouTube, my main channel. And yeah, man, that's what it is, man. God bless you. Right back to you guys out there. I thank all of you for sharing the stream, for keeping me in your prayers. Any of you guys that support financially, any of you guys that become a member, any of you guys that buy coffee, anything like that, all appreciated to the fullest. I thank you for joining me here for another one. Thank you, Tacos, for sharing the links and all that. All the crew for holding it down. Yeah, man. Stay safe out there. And start thinking of ways of a backup communication, if you can. Outside of the cell phone and the landline. If you want to be able to actually communicate There will be a way. If you have satellite comms, things like that, you'll have a chance to be able to tap into the world instead of being cut off. When a massive outage and blackout occurs, just like we've seen in other disasters, let's take Hawaii. In other places that got rocked, down Mexico, and all that by the storms. The only people to get in there and to be able to talk to the rest of the world were people that had like satellite communications. All the rest of the people were in the dark. Just remember that. That's real deal. That's from other disasters you can learn from. Because it's going to happen. It's going to hit here. There's going to be a downing event. And if you want to have communications, man, plan for it. Don't leave that off the list. I just want to throw it out there. Because I could still be going live with half this country in the dark. And if you guys don't have a way to listen, what's it worth? Anyhow, I love y'all. We'll sign off. Yeah. Take us out of here. Some of our music. Where's that one here? Let me take us out on this one. I told you earlier, Doug. Uncommon News. He sings the hook. Welcome to the Underground. When you become a member here on YouTube, it says, Welcome to the Underground. It says that. I'm going to play that song. Much love, y'all.
The Garden of Eden, the Great Flood, the birthplace of Abraham. I know of men who have taken life needlessly in other conflicts. I can assure you, they live with the mark of Cain upon them. The enemy should be in no doubt that we are his nemesis, and we are bringing about his rightful destruction. If you are ferocious in battle, remember to be magnanimous in victory.
I took my place at the table and drank wine with the kings. Picked up my sword to go and battle with the gins. There's rumors of war and it's about to begin. So repent for sins before you send for your wings. About to school them out about prepared crowns and kneecaps. Wrote revelations, been there and back with deep math. Read all the scriptures, seen through them like a sheet glass. I did the knowledge equipped with many weed sacks. So ease back and speak facts, my spirit is prepared. What will be, never show no despair. Keep your head held high and have faith in the hair. And join in because there's power in prayer. And when the hour is here, don't be devoured in fear. Cause the flowers of smoke, they gave me powers of seers. And I've been pounding ears for years to down fears. So welcome to the underground, the thunder stars here, yeah.
Welcome to the underground, your safe is over now. We got a place you can't escape because you serve the crown. His word is moving now, the world is losing now. Out of the promised land cause they refuse to bow. Welcome to the underground, your safe is over now. We got a place you can't escape because you serve the crown. Now it's a day away, the war about to break. So grab a sword, pray the Lord and soldier take your place.
Angels stand ready at the four winds. Abaddon's armor's on, about to storm in. So warn men as they hearing the lyrics. Stand bold, don't fold, ain't no fear in the spirit. The spirit, the spirit. You miss it, should you choose to accept it. Speak truth, tear down deception. Your only weapon, the words he's given. So spit flames, and rain hell from heaven. Form up, we about to storm up with the right team. The spike scene will make that all-seeing eye scream. With light beams we make them melt into a light sheen. Unless they covered by the blood like a sunscreen. The unseen is made clear only by his grace. For the king we give it all, we run the race. War is on, sword is dawn, make no mistake. Don't fall, stand tall, soldier, take your place.
Welcome to the underground, your safe is over now. We got a place you can't escape because you serve the crown. His word is moving now, the world is losing now. Out of the promised land cause they refuse to bow. Welcome to the underground, your safe is over now. We got a place you can't escape because you serve the crown. Now it's a day away, the war about to break. So grab a sword, pray the Lord and soldier take your place.
It's time to take your place, or you getting replaced. You either ride for the Lord or getting your soul erased. The demons give a chase, they all up in my face. That's when I hit them with holy water like it was mace. Better repent for sin and overcome the gin. The end time's here, so baby let the games begin. We walking righteous, it's the only way we're gonna win. The soul screaming to heaven, begging to let them in. The seals are breaking, prophecy got the earth shaking. Better awaken or forever get your soul taken. I ain't faking, you better prepare when the Lord comes to separate the wheat from the tare. If you care, time's ticking into the final hour, and when the Lord comes, you'll witness the power. When the trumpet sounds, it's about to go down. The real can only be found up in the underground.
Welcome to the underground. Your safe is over now. We got a place you can't escape because you serve the crown. His word is moving now. The world is losing now. Out of the promised land cause they refuse to bow. Welcome to the underground. Your safe is over now. We got a place you can't escape because you serve the crown. Now it's a day away. The war about to break. So grab a sword, pray the Lord, and soldier take your place.
Dabu 7.
Yeah.
Hoodie Ross.
Got another one.
Fire flame.
Yeah.
It's that time. The underground. Let's go.
I was made for this, I was built for this, yeah, I believe it. No stopping this, we locking in, we got the keys. Seen a lot of shit, but can't nothing change me. Been fighting all these demons that cannot contain me. I was made for this, I was built for this, yeah, I believe it. No stopping this, we locking in, we got the keys. Seen a lot of shit, but can't nothing change me. Been fighting all these demons, they cannot contain me.
About to ride on my enemies, come storming, swarming like killer bees. Show me how hard a gorilla be when I'm moving with the God-given energy. Yeah, and I'm about to go ham, yo. Ain't falling for the scam, bro. When the doors raise up on the Lambo, when I'm popping out shots like I'm Rambo. That's the plan, though, cause the homies don't play that. Never sitting up in haystack. Me and Nina go way back. Ain't no one ever stay strapped, laid back in the Maybach. And we bringing the heat that we never knew we'll feel. Me and my homies drinking the real deal. So you better go and take it with your bill. Cause they coming at you ready to kill.
I was made for this, I was built for this, yeah, I believe it. No stopping this, we locking in, we got the keys. Seen a lot of shit, but can't nothing change me. Been fighting all these demons, they cannot contain me. I was made for this, I was built for this, yeah, I believe it. No stopping this, we locking in, we got the keys. Seen a lot of shit, but can't nothing change me. Been fighting all these demons, they cannot contain me. They can't contain what's great, they can't contain my faith. I must maintain a grade, that's just another saying. Hold up, I'm another saying. Super no Goku, get beat just like it's Pro Tools. I'm moving like an old school. Bad, we can get back to the level. Living bruises on the devil. Pay attention, it could get level. Assistant ain't no AI. Precision ain't gon' go out. Petition might not work out, but a nigga like me going all out. I was made for this, I was built for this, yeah, I believe it. No stopping this, we locking in, we got the keys. Seen a lot of shit, but can't nothing change me. Been fighting all these demons that cannot contain me. I was made for this, I was built for this, yeah, I believe it. No stopping this, we locking in, we got the keys. Seen a lot of shit, but can't nothing change me. Been fighting all these demons, they cannot contain me.
Speak to God when the heathen drop. The streets full of demons that will squeeze on pop. Wagging tongues seem to speak a lot when the soul's possessed by the creepy mob. True talk, get the speakers shot, cause man squeaky spots just to sneak a shot. Close range and real rocked and JFK'd if you leave your block. Watch my back, they attack at angles. I wear them down just like the Lord sandals. The storm approaching will leave you mangled. Don't tango with angles, we do the fandango. I crack your mango if you rough your melon. Then pray to the heaven for some demon repellent. The exorcist exercise a session, cause in my profession can't disguise possession.
I was made for this, I was built for this, yeah, I believe it. No stopping this, we locking in, we got the keys. Seen a lot of shit, but can't nothing change me. Been fighting all these demons, they cannot contain me. I was made for this, I was built for this, yeah, I believe it. No stopping this, we locking in, we got the keys. Seen a lot of shit, but can't nothing change me. Been fighting all these demons, they cannot contain me.